everybody, welcome back to the Evermore YouTube channel. It's Chris back with another What's the Crack with That show, the baby brother of What's Going On, where we just talk about football news in general. It doesn't have to be Newcastle United, but quite often there will be a twist, including Newcastle United as well. We're going to get stuck into the breaking news, the big news that's gone on in the football world today, and is involving a lad who's also wearing a red top, just like me. Previously wearing a red top, and not for very much longer. Of course, it is one Portuguese superstar we're going to get stuck into in a minute. Just before we do, a little bit of housekeeping. If you haven't already, smash that button, come and join us. We're on about 2,066 subs. Loads more room for you. Come along, all free content, full of Newcastle United banter and football banter in general with shows just like this. So what we're talking about, let's get stuck right in here. We're talking about none other than this fella right here who's waving goodbye to Manchester United for the second time. Yes, it is the world-class player, but also world-class whinger, Cristiano Ronaldo. Now, if you were living under a rock, there's been a huge news story doing the rounds for a while now. It is Cristiano Ronaldo. He did this explosive interview with Piers Morgan, where Piers Morgan was utterly impartial, cough, cough, talking about Cristiano Ronaldo's career and all the issues that he's been having. He threw the club under the bus. He threw the Glazers under the bus. He threw Erik ten Hag under the bus. He threw his teammates under the bus. And what's happened with Cristiano Ronaldo really has been utterly sad to see, to be honest with you, because when he come back to Manchester United, he scored 2 goals against us, didn't he? There's your Newcastle link. And we all thought it was going to be a fairy tale return, really, for Cristiano, but it turned ugly pretty quickly. You know, the sacking of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, then they brought in Ralf Rangnick, again, something that Cristiano was very critical about. I kind of see where he's coming from there, because I thought Rangnick was pretty shit. Hadn't managed the club for a long time. I was really surprised he got that job. Didn't just keep the seat warm for a week or two before a proper manager came in. So Cristiano wasn't very happy at all. Erik ten Hag has come in, obviously hasn't fancied him whatsoever. He's not really covered himself in glory. He banged in a transfer request. Ten Hag, I thought, has handled it superbly, to be honest with you. I think Ten Hag's probably won a lot more fans than he's gained enemies throughout this whole, rigorous process of dealing with Cristiano Ronaldo. Of course, he's had some personal tragedy as well, and we all sympathise and empathise with that, no doubt about that. But I think Cristiano's ego is just way out of control, really. And I think he come back to Manchester United, that he felt he was bigger than. And I think that was your problem, quintessentially. But just a quick look at how he did when he come back. I mean, he had 30 games in the Premier League, 39 games in total in his first season back. He got 24 goals, 18 in the Premier League. He did do quite well. He was just behind Harry Kane. He got 6 goals in the Champions League and 7 appearances. So it looked like he was doing all right, to be fair. But the problem that Manchester United always had was that team had to be geared up to play to Ronaldo's strengths, and it just wasn't really. They brought in players like Sancho. Obviously, Fernandes went from being the main man to the main man's sidekick, which obviously just didn't want to do whatsoever. And it just seemed to have disaster written all over it, really. Ten Hag wanted to come in and do something different. Ronaldo obviously wanted to be the main man. If it'd been a different manager that came in that could have stroked Ronaldo's ego, potentially could have got more out of him. But listen, I think Ronaldo's on the back end of the scale. He can't make the same runs that he used to do, can't score the same goals that he used to do. I think that pisses him off. It winds him up. We've seen Messi today in the Cup, the World Cup against Saudi Arabia, looked a shadow of the player that he used to be as well. These lads are coming to the end of their time. It's time for the Haalands and the Mbappes. These lads to step through, even the Phil Fodens of the world and people like that. They're all stepping up into that kind of elite level of football. Neymar's still kicking about. You've got Vinicius Jr. So as class as Ronaldo and Messi have both been, I think this is their swan song. I think it's time they can see that retirement, football retirement home over the hill there. But Ronaldo just doesn't want to get there. And I think he's lashing out on everybody, really, because he feels that superior grip of the game slipping away from him. Let's see how he plays in the World Cup. I think he's going to be gashed, to be honest with you. I think, again, he won't be able to catch the passes that are played to him. He'll be shouting upon his teammates. And I think it's just got disaster written all over it. But so he's gone from Manchester United this season, just to let you know. He had 10 Premier League appearances, 1 goal, 6 Europa Cup appearances, 2 goals and 2 assists. So he's not been brilliant. 16 appearances and 3 goals. So all in all, if you look at his record from last season, this season, still not bad strike rate. But for Cristiano Ronaldo, you expect something a little bit better. But Manchester United released this statement earlier on that said Cristiano Ronaldo is to leave Manchester United by mutual consent with immediate effect. The club thanks him for his immense contribution across 2 spells at Old Trafford, scored 145 goals and 346 appearances, and wishes him and his family well for the future. Everyone at Manchester United remains focused on continuing the team's progress under Erik ten Hag and working together to deliver success on the pitch. There's a little bit of a dig there at the end to Cristiano. But, I think it's the best thing for the player and the best thing for the club. What worries me a little bit about this, and I said this in our chat as well, is it could set a dangerous precedent, I think, for players moving forward, that if they don't like the manager, they don't like the club, they've got a contract, do they go and find a journalist to do an explosive interview and cause so much shit that stinks so bad that the club has to get rid because they become a toxic influence in the club? I know players do this already. We had Johan Goodbye do this to us, and previously nowhere near the size of this scale, in terms of the PR and everything else. But this does worry me a little bit. Let us know what you guys think in the comments below. I mean, firstly, what do you think about Ronaldo going? Are you sad to see him go? Are you happy we won't see a guy who's nearly 40 jumping up and going "Sue" every time he scores a goal? Do you think he's acted appallingly? I personally do. I think he's been very disrespectful, not just to Ten Hag and Manchester United, but I think he's been pretty disgraceful about the young players who look up to him and idolise the guy as well. I think he's shown some real lack of class, I think, with the way he's behaved. That interview with Piers Morgan, I watched the first half. I think I went off to vomit on my shoes, and I don't even think I've even bothered going back for the second half, to be honest with you. I think I found something better on YouTube, like a cat chasing a ball to watch or something like that. But, I'll be glad to see the back of him personally. I think he's a distraction. He's held Manchester United back. I think they'll probably move on and kick on without him. But, where's he going to go? People are talking about Newcastle United. We don't want him. He'd be the worst signing we could possibly make. Totally goes against PK's no dickhead policy. He's not for me. Let us know what you guys think in the comments below. Would you take Ronaldo? I personally wouldn't, but we'll see. I'm sure he'll be linked to loads of clubs in the press in the coming days. But yeah, I can see him in America or something like that, possibly a swan song in Serie A. But let us know what you guys think in the comments below. Are you glad to see the back of him? Would you have him at Newcastle United? I know I wouldn't. I think the rest of the boys wouldn't, but we're always keen to hear what you guys have got to say. As I said at the start, smash that like and subscribe button as well. Come and join us. We'd love to have you on evermore. We've got the live shows that we normally do, obviously a bit different for the World Cup, and pop-up videos just like this. So make sure you keep it evermore, guys. Let's keep supporting our team of Core United, and we'll catch you later. Cheers.